I'm the dude. So that's what you call me.
Are you a virgin?
Yeah, not since I was 10.
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
Come on to the coast. We get together, have a few laughs.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Can I return it if it doesn't fit?
It always fits. Eventually.
Welcome back to Movie Mingle. I'm Caveman.
And I'm Maggie.
And today we watched The Devil Wears Prada.
Fashion, fashion, fashion. Ladies with makeup on.
2006. Directed by David Frankel. If David Frankel sounds familiar to anybody out there, he is a hardworking director who's been in film and television. His movies include Hope Springs, which brought him and Meryl Streep together again. Marley and Me, which is...
Sadsville, USA.
Yes, so much sad wrapped up into one film. One that I watched, I don't think it was last year, I think it was the year before, Jerry and Marge Go Large, with Bryan Cranston and Annette Bening.
Oh, yeah, the one about the lottery.
Yeah.
Not scam, but the lottery.
They just played the lottery and did well at it and
Yeah.
Put the money towards their community. But it's also a really fun little movie with, Bryan Cranston and Annette Bening. He's also directed television episodes for a variety of shows, like 2 episodes of The Morning Show with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, which I never
on
watched.
Apple
Did
TV.
you ever give that
I watched
time of day?
half of the first season.
Yeah.
I was into it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'd be into more of it. He also did 2 episodes of Entourage,
Ugh.
6 episodes of Sex and the City, and 2 episodes of Band of Brothers.
Oh, what two?
The Breaking Point.
That's Bastogne? Yeah, the Breaking Point. So that's when they're in Bastogne.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go through them? Because I could go through episode
No,
by
it's fine.
episode for you.
And he also directed episode 9, Why We Fight.
Oh, God, the one with Nixon where they find the camp. That's a good fucking
It's
episode.
a good episode.
Oh, my God. Band of Brothers is just one of my favorite things on this planet. I would actually rather talk about Band of Brothers this entire episode than talk about The Devil Wears Prada. And I didn't even dislike The Devil Wears Prada. I would just rather talk about Band of Brothers.
Yeah, you chose it too.
Because they were brave men and they were hot men. Except for David Schwimmer.
No, poor David Schwimmer.
Poor David Schwimmer.
The Devil Wears Prada was written, the original novel, of course, was written by Lauren Weisberger. It was essentially like a way of getting out her life experiences working in the fashion industry as an assistant. Essentially, it was her boss, Anna Wintour, who was the editor-in-chief of Vogue.
Is still. Editor-in-chief.
I don't know. Because I may
Really?
not be now.
Well, I mean, she still does the Met Gala, and she's still a pretty high up there.
Oh, yeah.
High-ranking fashion
I think
lady, fashion
still,
lady.
yes, all of that, but I don't think she's editor-in-chief of Vogue anymore.
Well, I mean, she's also ancient.
It's also my, limited research that I did.
I mean, I know more about Anna Wintour just because of my pop culture world tends to sprinkle more into fashion than yours does. I care more about the fashion side of things than you
do for some reason.
But not
I'm just kidding.
that much. My foot's in that fashion lake, but only out of curiosity, and I know who the people are. I myself am very unfashionable. I am a leggings and t-shirts sort of gal. But, no tea or no shade on the ladies that like to get dressed up. I would love to feel glamorous for one day in my life. But, just your everyday laid back sort of lady. I mean, Anna Wintour wouldn't even look at me, let alone care to dress me down for how I was dressed. I would be invisible to her, and I'm fine with
I'm
that.
sure plenty of people are invisible to her.
Yeah, and that's okay.
She acts like...
Well, yeah, I mean,
There's a reason why The Devil Wears Prada was written and why the film was made, because it's an interesting story
and
with this interesting antagonist.
I also tend to think, personally, because we're jumping the gun a little bit here, but I tend to think that Miranda and I guess Anna Wintour are misjudged because they're women. If Anna Wintour was a dude, we wouldn't be having this conversation. This movie never would have been written. It just would have fucking normal.
That way.
Yeah, 1,000%.
I mean, yes. I'm not saying that she shouldn't act this way because she's a woman.
No, she has every right to be a boss-ass bitch that she is. You know, she's got to make the tough
I think I'm more
calls.
arguing, does she have a right to be such a...
An asshole?
Yes.
Well, no, but nobody has the right to be such an asshole to their underlings.
But she's allowed to be because of her position.
She's allowed to be because of her position, but she's looked down upon and people talk about her behind their back and they're really shitty to her. But
Well, like any other boss.
But if she were a dude, it would be
have been as bad.
more forgettable.
I get
or
it.
forgivable.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. The only reason
I just
why
think she also is...
nobody should be that mean to their underlings.
Yeah, that's
nobody,
what I'm saying.
man or woman. So no, her gender does not excuse her being a dick. But if she were a man, it would be excused by pop culture, by the world at large. They would make excuses for him and just not care as much. But since she's a woman, they care.
So Winter stepped down as editor-in-chief in September of 2025.
Oh, wow. Oh, that was
Last year.
Yeah. I was like, I don't
From the information that you were last given, she was within the last year.
Yeah.
But now she was replaced by Chloe Mal, who was promoted from just being the editor of Vogue.
Mm-hmm.
Winter remains global chief content officer of Vogue internationally.
Yeah.
So still, of course, why would you?
No, they will
gotta-
literally carry her out of that building in her coffin.
Probably.
Or
And-
they're going to put her urn right back into that
And I
building
understand,
where she belongs.
like, she's been
There is no Vogue without
since the
Anna Wintour.
90s, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know when Vogue started.
No, Vogue has a very long history. I think it started in the 40s or 50s.
Anna Wintour served as editor-in-chief starting in 1988.
Mm-hmm.
1892.
Yeah, so it's been around a minute.
It's been around for a minute, necessary or not.
yeah.
I think it's just another art form that people get their whatever they need to get out
Yeah,
with.
it's their own expression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like film, art, like paint art type
just-
stuff. And
I want to feel that glamorous once. I want to have my face beat. I want to be put into a dress that makes me look va-va-voom baby. I want to wear heels that
it would be
hate my
interesting
feet.
to wear something that is more expensive than you could
My life.
possibly even
Yeah.
imagine that kind of money.
Oh my god, I know. Like put
Let
like
alone-
a $3 million diamond necklace on
Like
me.
you're
I'd be
wearing
walking
a
around
house.
Like,
You're wearing
fuck.
wearing property like this. Like you could buy a house with what you're wearing.
And you look
Just in jewelry
beautiful.
alone.
And I would like that once in my life.
Just once.
Just once. I want to feel glamorous.
Well, it was enough to get Lauren Weisberger to write this book about her old boss. Of course, Hollywood, before it was published, had already had their
claws in it.
They already had
Yeah.
their hands on it and
Yeah.
had bought the rights for it before the book was even finished being written. Like they had read enough of it
Yeah.
and been like, yeah, and like they had an
We're
outline.
gonna make that. Yeah.
They got an outline from the author of how she was going to end it, and they're like, yeah, we'll make a movie out of that.
Yeah.
We'll buy that from you. Like, that's got to be, to not even finish a novel and already be getting offers for film deals,
That's a hell of a story, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
Aileen Brosh McKenna was the screenwriter for Devil Wears Prada. She wrote the story for the Cruella movie. Just the story, not the script. Mm-hmm. She was the creator behind Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Yeah, with Rachel Bloom. I
That's
I
the one.
really enjoyed that show. I never finished it. Admittedly, I fell off of it. I have friends that have watched it all and have loved it. I love the parts of it that, like, the first season was great. The first season was so good.
She also wrote the screenplay for We Bought a Zoo with Matt Damon and Scarlett Johansson, which was
That was a cute
Cameron
movie.
Crowe's last good movie.
I mean, and good is in, like, good shrug emoji.
It was fun.
It was
We Bought a
fine.
Zoo was,
Yeah,
it was
it's a
hard.
cute
it was
movie.
it was a very, well, not just cute. I thought it was very
I mean, I
heartfelt.
remember it being emotional. Like, I thought it was good. Don't get me wrong. I would watch it again.
I mean, I'm not saying it's almost famous,
no.
but
No.
no movie is.
No, that is true.
She also wrote one of my favorite Matthew Perry movies, which was Three to Tango with Nev Campbell and Dylan McDermott.
Or was it Dermot Mulroney?
I knew you were going to say that when I was writing that down. I was like, she's going to say, or was it Dylan Mulroney? It was Dylan McDermott. I double checked. But it's like Three to Tango and Whole Nine Yards are my favorite Matthew Perry movies. The music was done by Theodore Shapiro, or just Theodore. He's been a film composer since the mid-90s.
Okay.
Started with Wet Hot American Summer, Heist, which is one of my favorite Gene Hackman movies. Not Another Teen Movie, and Old School.
Okay.
And Along Came Polly, which we talked about
I do
last week or the week before.
Like that movie a whole lot.
Starsky and Hutch,
Okay.
the new one.
Yeah.
13 Going on 30.
All right.
Dodgeball.
Okay.
Idiocracy. Blades of Glory with Will Ferrell and
so far
John
none
Hader.
of these movies have.
And these are all the scores.
But I mean, none of these movies have like songs like from their soundtracks that are so memorable.
It really is just kind of like
It's just the needle drops.
I'm just hired, and it's not. Well, not all of them are
No, the
needle
only
drops, but
if I'm thinking about the soundtrack to,
it's just filler music. It's an you have
you have
composer has an
themes,
orchestra, and they're just it's like Family Guy or American Dad.
no.
It's just filler.
I totally understand
music.
that. My point being is that when I think about the soundtrack of Dodgeball, I think about Lady in Red.
They are more.
I think of the
soundtrack
needle
heavy.
drops
they're more
from those
needle drop
movies more
heavy.
than I think of the original
Sure.
score.
Like Tropic Thunder, he did.
Yeah, the music was good for Tropic Thunder, but again, I think of
another Marley and Me. So
jeez.
him and the writer have worked together, which I think also the cinematographer, but we'll get to
Oh boy,
him in a bit.
all these guys love killing dogs.
I guess so. Jennifer's Body, which is a really good horror movie, like a little cheesy but still good. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which is a really fun.
I've seen the
Steve
original.
Carell movie.
I've never
Steve
seen
Carell.
the
Not Carell.
remake.
Wolves with George Clooney and Brad Pitt, which I didn't even watch
Nobody
all of.
saw.
I watched half of it and was just like, eh.
Yeah.
And then recently he did the music for Housemaid with Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried.
I mean, I guess good for him for still working, but like, I'm not particularly interested to hear the scores to any of these films.
They're not like standout
No.
things. Now the cinematographer, on the other hand, talk about like starting from the bottom and just working your way up, but at the same time, when you're at the bottom, learning from the greats to become a better cinematographer. These kind of things, because he started working with the camera department as an assistant camera operator in the early 80s. So he wasn't like the camera guy. He was either an assistant or the second assistant. But he got to work on James L. Brooks' Broadcast News and Frank Oz's Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and What About Bob? Later, Working Girl and Postcards from the Edge, which I haven't seen, but it was directed by, I know it was directed by Mike Nichols, who also directed The Graduate and The Birdcage.
And was based on a book by Carrie Fisher.
And because, it was written, the screenplay was written by Carrie Fisher too, and starring Meryl Streep again, as well as like Shirley MacLaine, Dennis Quaid, Gene Hackman,
Sure.
Richard Dreyfuss, Rob Reiner, and still working as a assistant, Bram Stoker's Dracula from Francis Ford Coppola, which had to be a great cinematographer lesson, yeah. And then finally, he gets to work when he works on Robert Redford's Quiz Show from 1994. It was the first movie where he finally gets to be the camera operator, not just an assistant. Then he gets a promotion again as a second unit cinematographer. He's getting to practice this art in a real film as a cinematographer for the second unit in Men in Black 2 and Gangs of New York. I love the cinematography in that one. And then finally, he gets to be a cinematographer, like actually shooting the movie in Flight Plan with Jodie Foster and Sean Bean. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No.
And then he shot Marley and Me.
He actually shot Marley.
He shot it, yeah. So the writer, the cinematographer, and the composer all did Marley and Me together. Oh, I'm sorry, the director, not the writer. It's I like seeing somebody who gets to
do good things,
like an actual cinematographer.
What was his name again?
Florian Ballhaus.
Oh, well, good for him.
Rotten Tomatoes has Devil Wears Prada at a 75% from critics and a 76% from audiences. Letterboxd gave it a 3.8 out of 5. Metascore of 62.
Okay.
And set at 7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah, it's more or less.
Brings it to an average of 72%. Now, even though audiences and critics kind of were giving it not like the best scores ever, didn't keep people away from the theater and watching this movie.
Oh no, people fucking saw this movie.
People saw this movie $35 million is what it was made for, and domestically made $125 million, and $202 million internationally. And you know people wanted to watch it again because it made another $98.5 million on home media.
Jesus.
Which was almost what it made domestically.
Yeah.
And that's a total of $425.5 million for a $35 million movie.
People fucking
People
watched this movie. People talk about this movie all the time.
And it's
this
funny,
is a
though.
huge pop culture movie.
Yeah, but it's just interesting to me with such low scores, but so much money.
Yeah.
And not low scores like, oh, it's got like C's and D's.
No.
Like, it's a B
70%.
movie. I mean, it's a C movie, but...
Yeah. But no, it's a well-received movie. I think
very well
that
received.
maybe some of the patinas come off the shine over the years, or maybe nostalgia has helped it. It's kind of one or the other. I guess it can only be one or the other. Women love this movie. This is a movie for women. And one of the things that we talked about in our last season, with those 75 films that we got with the help of Letterboxd, is they were all kind of dude movies.
Sure.
You know, the bulk majority of those films were movies kind of oriented towards
Male-centric, or
male
dealing
main
with
characters.
male issues.
Yeah, or just like movies that dudes like.
Sure.
You know, Fight Club and
There's a few.
Whiplash and all that bullshit.
There's
You
a
know.
La La Land and a Barbie in there.
Yeah, that was one or two, right? Just like we always get just one or two. The whole point is that, like, this was a movie for women. This was a movie for the queers. This was a movie that, you know, was kind of aimed towards a different audience. And I love that it made all of its money. I think
sure.
that The Devil Wears Prada 2, which is the reason why we chose this to do this movie now, is because we're interested in going
Coming
to see
out
the
in a
sequel.
week, I think.
I mean, it's coming out the Friday after this episode drops. You know, that movie's going to be fucking huge. Project Hail Mary has made a ton of money. The Devil Wears Prada 2 is about to blow it out of the goddamn water. I'm predicting at least easily 100 million opening weekend.
I'm looking forward to it. I actually want to see it in the theater with you.
I'm very
and
curious now.
I'm curious how it's going to be.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's going to be better than this one. Not that this one is bad. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah, I was kind of curious. I felt like you weren't as enthralled with it, and I guess we can get to why. Although I also wasn't that enthralled with it.
We'll get to that.
But I appreciate that it was when I did not see this movie in theater. I saw it probably on Netflix DVD. One of those things I was like, oh, I guess I should watch this, and I watched it, and I went, okay, you know, all right, I've seen it, and then I hadn't watched it again until the other day. When you know, there are certain things in pop culture that you're not necessarily a total part of, but you want to at least know why it's so beloved. And that's kind of how I view this film. I'm not frothing at the mouth for the sequel like some of their fans are, but I'm excited to see it.
Did you know that as of 2026 at least, Meryl Streep has been nominated for an Oscar 21 times?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Of those 21 times, she has 3 wins for The Iron Lady, Sophie's Choice, and Kramer versus Kramer.
A lot of people think that The Iron Lady shouldn't have been the one awarded, but
She did not win the nomination for The Devil Wears Prada. Of course, that went to Helen Mirren, who won for The Queen.
no, yeah, I mean, that's a hard beat
Sure.
right there.
The other nominees that year were Penelope Cruz for Vulvar, Judi Dench in Notes on a Scandal, and Kate Winslet in Little Children.
Damn, what a stacked pedigree of actresses just there.
Patricia Field was nominated for Best Costume Design, and the award went to Marie Antoinette.
Come on. I mean, I get it, but youch.
This is interesting that this came up since we were just talking about it. Another nominee that year for costume design was Curse of the Golden Flower.
Oh, interesting.
So they were nominated for... So when we get around to watching that movie someday, possibly for the podcast, that'll be a one to remember that they were nominated and lost to Marie Antoinette. The Devil Wears Prada was not nominated for an Oscar for Best Film. Mm-hmm. It was a tough year already with Babel, the one with Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett. Clint Eastwood's Letters from Iwo Jima. Little Miss Sunshine, The Queen, of course. But the one that won, which is funny, the episode for it is coming out next week.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But the Oscar-winning film that year was The Departed.
Damn. Somehow chose that well, didn't we?
Right. Well, you want to get into the cast?
Yeah,
because this is a really great cast.
It's a stacked cast, but there's only like 4 big names and then like a handful of little guys and a lot more handfuls of even littler guys. But yeah, let's get into it.
Well, let's start with Meryl Streep,
Yes.
who, I mean, is...
Meryl Streep, she can do anything.
She can do anything. It's been...
It's been well documented.
I mean, when you're nominated for Best Actress / supporting and lead role, you're obviously going to get somebody who is just great at everything they do.
I mean, yeah, she is a singular talent.
Like Grace and Rocky said, she can do anything.
She can do anything. She is she's an American talent. She's one of the best. I mean, I couldn't tell you, maybe the first movie I ever really remember seeing her in was maybe Death Becomes Her, because that was definitely a movie I watched in 92 or close enough to it. I have since seen her earlier stuff, her stuff that came out before me. I've never seen Sophie's Choice. I never plan on watching Sophie's Choice. I've seen very few of her early stuff.
I've seen the scene from Sophie's Choice, and I don't think I'm going to watch it. Out of Africa I've seen, and that
I've seen Out of Africa,
is a great movie.
Yeah, I've only seen like particular scenes of Sophie's Choice just from clips. I'm never going to watch that film.
No, thank you.
And as I'm going through her list, there's a lot of good ones here. Of course, she was in The Fantastic Mr. Fox, which we had watched last season. She's in Mamma Mia, which we will be watching later this season.
Yep.
Look, she's Meryl Streep. What do you say about her?
She's great.
She's great.
I mean, that's what you say about her.
She can do anything.
She can do anything. Next, we've got Anne Hathaway.
When Anne wants away, Anne Hathaway.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That was so worth it.
Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you. I heard that at work. I heard that at work this morning, and I was like, oh, hell yeah.
I mean, I would say, I think everybody
Computer, will you?
discovered her because of the Princess Diaries.
Yeah.
That was like her main...
And that was kind of one of her first things.
That was the thing. Like,
yeah.
It was this, and then I never saw Brokeback Mountain, so I don't know how much people...
Have you not seen Brokeback Mountain?
We've talked about this before.
We have to put it on this list.
Well, it's not on this list.
Fuck. Well, then you know what? That's going to be our June Pride bonus episode. I'm going to finally make you watch Brokeback Mountain. Because that movie is singularly heartbreaking.
And then after that, I mean, she had already done Princess Diaries 2. Mm-hmm. And then
Ella Enchanted was the other big one that people absolutely loved.
Right into Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never saw Ella Enchanted either.
It's cute. It's perfectly fine, fun. 2004, so it's, I think the second thing she did, or one of them.
She was a fun Selena Kyle, but I don't think she was great.
No,
I mean...
The more I get away from The Dark Knight Rises, the more I'm like, wow, there were some choices made in that movie, and I'm not sure about a lot of them.
Especially between The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises.
The Dark Knight was such a perfect film, and then The Dark Knight Rises came out, and we were all like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Something's not right here.
And it's kind of a bummer because, I mean, actually, no, I guess it does make sense. Because to be fair, Batman Begins, although a very fun movie, is a very sort of cheesy, more like comic booky movie than The Dark Knight was. And The Dark Knight was so real and grounded and serious. And then The Dark Knight Rises kind of went right back into being a little comic booky and silly. How does Bane take over Gotham for that long? How does Bane just Bane with that very weird voice?
I am the League of Shadows. I am here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny.
I'm very excited to see her in The Odyssey. She plays Penelope, I believe is her name. She's the Odysseus's wife that is waiting for him. But yeah, Anne Hathaway's great. I think she's an incredible actress. I love that she's several hundred years old and was once married to Shakespeare. Shakespeare's wife was named Anne Hathaway, and if you pull up pictures of them, they are strikingly similar.
That's weird.
And actually, her current husband looks a lot like Shakespeare.
So we're saying that she's immortal and she's...
You know what? Even she's leaned into that with a few of her own TikToks. And if she is, good for her. Get it, girl. Stunning slay.
Man.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
It must be fucking nice. I'm never unhappy to see Anne Hathaway in anything. She's not necessarily an actress that I seek out, per se. But I'm not going to, turn her down. Except I'm never watching Les Mis. Ever.
I saw that. She is really good in it.
Yeah, no, she won the Oscar for it.
I mean, she's really good in it.
Yeah, she dreamed a dream, and
I mean,
good
I think
for fucking her.
If you can act your way through that song and sing it at the same time. I mean, I know she wasn't actually singing on set.
No, I think they were singing on set.
Well, I know, but I think what you're hearing is not what's actually.
I thought this is just off the top of my head, but I thought there was a fair amount of live singing on set that is captured, sort of the way that like La La Land was. I could be wrong. I don't know. I never saw it, mainly because it's like 4.5 hours long, and B, as soon as I saw even a hint of Russell Crowe singing, I was instantly out.
Russell Crowe singing is not great.
Instantly out.
And even though Hugh Jackman is viewed as a good singer, when the two of them are doing like kind of a duet or back and forth with each other, it's such a terrible scene. You're just like, when can we get back to like anything else?
Yeah, no, I couldn't do Les Mis.
Something that I do want to watch from Anne Hathaway coming out this year is Mother Mary.
Oh yeah, that just dropped.
It just looks wild,
bonkers. I know. Yeah. I was talking with a coworker today about.
But it's also a David Lowery movie, and I mean, he made The Green Knight, which is a bonkers movie, and A Ghost Story, which is.
You love that.
If you can't sit through A Ghost Story, then don't bother with David Lowery.
Yeah. I was telling a co-star today that Mother Mary looks like a film that, although I love supporting my local theaters, I would rather watch at home because I'd like to be able to be either like, nope, not for me, and or just be like, I need a break. In general, like that just looks like a movie I'm going to have to watch in pieces if I watch it at all.
Well, next we got Emily Blunt, who
Emily Blunt.
Love.
Who
Emily Blunt.
Doesn't fucking love Emily Blunt? She's just so cute, and she's so good at what she does. And
John Krasinski is a lucky man.
He's a lucky guy. So obviously I've fallen head over heels in love with Ryan Gosling's work at the moment because of Project Hail Mary. Sure. And I've always loved The Baby Goose. That's no big deal. But I've been rewatching his films. Yeah. All this to say, I really need to rewatch The Fall Guy because I only saw it once and I had a fucking hell of a time with that film. It was so much fun.
Fall Guy was a lot of fun. And that would be a lot of fun. Yeah, him and Emily Blunt. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have talked about her. We've blown her a couple of times before because she was in Oppenheimer, and we're going to talk about her again kind of a few weeks for another film. I don't know, I just love her. I think she's just lovely. Everything she's been in is great. She sort of reprises her role as Emily in The Muppets from 2011, where she's the assistant to Miss Piggy.
That's right.
There aren't a lot of Tom Cruise movies that I like. There's kind of a handful from around the same era that I like the most, which are Tropic Thunder, Oblivion, and Edge of Tomorrow / Live, Die, and Repeat. Yeah. We were talking about Emily Blunt at work the other day because I was talking about doing this movie for the show, and I was like, have you guys seen this movie? And everybody was like, no, we haven't. And I'm like, okay, it's too bad because it's fucking fun. And so I was explaining the whole like montage where she just keeps killing Tom Cruise over and over again and how satisfying that is. But she's a babe in that movie. And I just adore her. I don't know. She's great. She's Emily. What do you say about it? Well, yeah.
I mean, Looper, it's a great
I never actually saw Looper.
Brian
De Palma.
No. That is a Brian.
No, that's the only Brian.
No, Ryan.
Seacrest.
No, Star Wars.
Johnson.
Right? Yep. Ryan Johnson did Looper with JGL and Bruce Willis. She's also in my favorite. That's right, my favorite Denis Villeneuve movie, Sicario.
You do fucking love that movie.
I think it's better than Dune. I think it's better than 2049.
Well, we're gonna have to watch it then.
I think it's better.
I think we need to do Villeneuve Fest.
It's better than Arrival.
Pew, 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 pew. Villeneuve.
For my birthday, as a birthday present to myself.
I know, you bought yourself.
I bought myself Sicario on 4K. Pew, pew, pew. Hey, you know what? If Nolan gets a fest, then maybe Villeneuve gets a fest.
Yeah,
too.
right? Because I would love to watch 2049 over again.
Because lately, and especially because both Dune and Odyssey are coming out the same year, lately Nolan and Villeneuve have been like, these are two directors that can make just an epic film that everybody is going to pay money for, and it's not.
People are going to go.
It's not a superhero movie. Nope. It's not comic book. It's
based solely on the fact that who's directing it.
Yeah.
I mean, and also who's in it, but it's who's directing it. More people were excited about Villeneuve taking over Dune than Timothée Chalamet taking over White Boy McJesus Blue Eyes. What's his character's name? Paul Hollywood? No.
Johnny Utah?
Johnny Utah. That was his name.
No, but that's from... that's...
That's from Point Blank.
That's from Point Break. Yeah. Duncan, Idaho.
Duncan, Idaho. Well, no, that's fucking
That's from
Khal
Dune.
Drogo's Dune character.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking Paul Atreides.
Oh.
I was saying that more people were excited about the prospect of Denis Villeneuve doing Dune than they were as Paul Atreides being played by Timothée Chalamet. Like,
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
like,
but people are more interested in the Odyssey as a concept from
than they
Nolan
are as
than
Matt
any of the
Damon.
cast. Yeah, Matt Damon as Odysseus, or
Matt Damon.
I mean, I'm not like
I'm not- no,
Tom
I'm not.
Holland, Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, it's very British.
I'm not excited about the cast
Per se.
for Odyssey.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for Nolan
Nolan's
doing Odyssey.
versions. Yeah.
So
And that's just it. It's
and
nice.
I want to be blown away by the cast.
It's nice that there are still like directors that no matter what they do, they draw an audience.
I love Ari Aster, and I love the guy who did Lighthouse. That I can't Eggers.
Yeah, Robert Eggers. God, you fucking love Robert Eggers. That's a weird motherfucker right there.
That was a weird.
So is
motherfucker.
Ari Aster.
Ari Aster is a weird
Weird
motherfucker too,
motherfucker.
but I love watching his weirdness. Next, we've got Stanley Tucci.
Stanley fucking Tucci.
I
The Tooch.
love Stanley
Who
Tucci.
fucking doesn't fucking love Stanley fucking Tucci?
He's definitely one guy that when he's in a movie, you're just like, yes.
Well, yeah, because he can do anything. He can play pomp and gay and noble in this film. He can be a creepy pedophile in The Lovely Bones. He can be an absolute, like, madman with insane teeth in The Hunger Games. He could be the world's best dad in Easy A. He can be...
Oh, he's the best dad in Easy
He's the best dad in Easy A. He was in Conclave. He was in Captain America. He has a memorable role in Beauty and the Beast, the newer one. Like, Stanley Tucci can and has and will do whatever the fuck he wants, and I am here for it every single goddamn time.
I find like he's like a Robert Duvall.
He is very much like a Robert Duvall, but Robert Duvall was a well-known actor and an incredible human being. Like, Stanley Tucci has transcended into pop culture.
I follow Stanley Tucci on Instagram because he's fun, because he talks about food and wine and
Stanley Tucci
Italy.
is straight, but culturally gay. Like, Stanley Tucci is incredible. Did you know that he is married to Emily Blunt's sister?
Oh my God. No, I did not know that.
He was married to a woman named Kate Tucci for 14 years before she died of cancer, I think. She passed away from a long illness. And after a bit of mourning, Emily introduced him to her sister Felicity, and then they got married.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's all a big family.
Well, good for
there.
them. Oh,
What'd you
man,
say?
remember how good
Tucci.
Conclave was?
Conclave took over my life for a couple of weeks. I was obsessed with Conclave. I would watch it anytime. Who knew that a movie about electing a pope could be the gayest thing ever written?
Well, I mean, when you have Ray Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, and John Lithgow,
So good.
and a bunch of other really good
So
actors.
fucking good. Literally the most diabolical vape hit ever is when they're calling out fucking Lithgow for what he's been doing, and then that Italian pope just takes a hit off his vape in the middle of the fucking Vatican. That movie is genius.
It was a really good movie.
You never watched the script read on YouTube with like Brett Goldstein and Josh Gad and all them?
I did not.
God, it was good. It was really entertaining and very funny. But really, Isabella Rossellini fucking deserved. Everybody in that movie deserved an Oscar for it. The fact that Ray Fiennes did not win an Oscar for Conclave is cruel. Especially when people were
When
like,
people are like, he already
has
won.
one. No, he doesn't.
Nope, never won.
And why are we giving a second one to fucking Big Nose Buddy over here?
I mean, especially Ray Fiennes did. I think we talked about this last time we brought up Ray Fiennes. He was nominated for The English Patient and Schindler's List, and the fact that he lost, especially Schindler's List.
I love Stanley Tucci. He's just the best. And I'm very excited to see how his role kind of expands in the sequel. So, of course, that's the kind of top big four.
Oh, yeah, Stanley Tucci was nominated for an Oscar for The Lovely Bones.
No, but he hasn't won.
He hasn't won.
Oh, that's criminal.
That is.
Yeah. So that's the big four of this movie, right? That's the four main characters.
Yeah.
And then there are the little side characters. Adrian Grenier.
Grenier.
I don't know. I don't fucking care. This dude gives me the ick in the worst way. Not only does his character in this movie suck, and we'll get to that in a second, but he was also in Entourage, which automatically makes me hate him because I sort of associate Entourage with skeezy men.
Sure.
Love Entourage. Simon Baker plays a straight up skis in this movie. He's in my notes I just wrote him down as the blonde guy because he's just this sort of smarmy douchebag. I kind of know him most from The Mentalist.
I think
was a
most
CBS
people
show.
know him from The Mentalist.
I mean, he's darling and he's Australian and he's very cute. I do remember pointing at the screen and going, "Is that Giselle Bundchen?" And Caveman being like, "What? No, I don't think so." And I was like, "No, that's Giselle Bundchen." He was like, "Okay." Called it. I mean, I do know what she looks like.
You know what Giselle Bundchen looks like.
And then there's a handful of other great character actors in this film that have done 100 different things. You know, they're all great. None of them matter. It's Meryl Streep's movie, you know, and each of the four main characters has their part in this film, and everybody else is just kind of there to be shitty.
Yeah.
Because everybody in this movie is shitty, but like outside of the main four, none of these shitty people are redeemable in any way, shape, or form. And I hate almost all of them. 20 years later, women have been able to carve out more of a role for themselves as being more than just being seen more than just being bitchy. But if Miranda Priestley was a man, she'd be the man. You know, and another thing that I really found very silly is like, so Andi starts off this movie and she's fresh out of college, even though she already looks 29. She wants to take this job. She knows nothing about fashion. Yeah. She's clueless, blah. But then once she finally starts to give a shit about the job, right? And she puts more of herself into it and she tries to get into this world. She's been thrown into the fashion world. She knows nothing about it, but she's like, you know what? Damn it. If I'm going to be in it, I'm going to be in it. And she goes for it. And then everybody treats her like she's somehow a backstabber to her own morals or her own integrity. How dare you get into fashion?
Her friend's reaction to the way she was acting. It wasn't
just her, though. Even blonde-haired douchebag guy that was just trying to steal her away from her boyfriend the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's still just like, oh, this is so beneath you. Fuck you, you're in this world too. Why can't a woman be into fashion and be a good journalist? She learned so much from Miranda.
Of course.
And she was able to, I'm presuming, because even in the trailers for the second one, she's an editor, and a acclaimed writer at that point. Yeah. So she took what she learned and she made the best of it. And everybody treated her like she was a giant piece of shit for that. Even like she was literally giving her friends free perfume, free makeup, free bags, free shit,
free bags,
expensive shit.
And immediately they're
just like, oh wow, your job sucks. You're the worst for liking it.
She gets a page and like, I need to go.
What do you think is paying for that free Gucci bag that she just handed you?
How do you think I just got a hold of it? Yes, it is and it's not like she's the only kind of person in the world who has that kind of job. I mean, doctors, lawyers.
Yeah, she has a demanding job.
Business, like you're CEO of a company.
But everybody treats her like she's scum for being
how dare you choose
dedicated to her job.
And yes, we all, it's not like she had a family. She wasn't married. She didn't have kids.
Thank God. That boyfriend sucked douche.
Boyfriend sucked.
He's just such a... And it's so funny. Somebody asked him recently if he wished that he was in The Devil Wears Prada too, and he's like, oh yeah, I think it would have been fun to see what Nate was up to. And like the internet collectively was like, no, we don't want that. We never wanted that. Fuck you. Like he's collectively hated because he doesn't
need to make some little cameo.
No, don't want to see it
just because he dated her at one time. We don't need to rehash this.
What happened to him?
Nobody cares. It was a failed relationship.
Nobody cares, Sean.
And yeah, I sympathize with, like, and it sucks to have a friend who all of a sudden has a new job where they're gone all the time, and you wish that you can hang out, but people grow up, and it wasn't like I said, she wasn't tied down to a family. Nope. She was living her own life this way.
She had a boyfriend and friends, but she was still somewhat footloose and fancy free. Yeah. And she chose to devote herself to this insane job that was going to get her places. I love that they just threw her into like working with no training whatsoever, right? Like training was all done completely on the job.
Just, I mean, could you imagine going into your first day? Was she hired on the spot?
Yeah, she was essentially hired on the spot. Yeah.
Like I can't remember if she started
she went to HR first, and then HR sent her up.
Right.
But
then that day she started answering phones and stuff, and taking messages.
No,
or at least
not that day, because she leaves. They're like, ew, no, and so she leaves, and then she gets a phone call.
She gets a phone call saying she's. Yeah, I couldn't imagine just being like, well, go do here's the job, just start doing it.
This is what you do.
Yeah, and you're supposed to know who people are, how to call people, how to use a phone.
all the montages, all the moments of Miranda throwing her jacket and her purse on Andy's desk, Andi leaving her house every day in a different outfit, and like she'd be waiting for a bus and a taxi will swim by, and then she's in a different outfit.
Yeah,
I mean
clever.
The editing and the montages in this movie were really well done, and I think that they were a great way of expressing how quickly time passes, and then of course character growth, because that's what montages are. But I thought it was very clever that it just shows her going to work, but every few cuts is a different outfit. Some of the outfits are obscene even by then standards.
Wow.
Like, look, I know nothing about fashion, and I know that Coco Chanel was like a Nazi sympathizer, but you should take at least one thing off. And I'm a maximalist too, so I don't care. But like when Andi is wearing like a jaunty hat, a white shirt with a tie, like a collared shirt with a tie, an off-the-shoulder short sleeve sweater over it, and then 800 necklaces and jeans, that's a lot. Take off the hat and the necklaces. Like, there were so many ways that some of these outfits could have been chic, I guess still today, that were just so... I mean, I guess, and it's a dated movie in that way, because early 2000s fashion was so there.
Yeah.
It existed. It wasn't great. It just was what it was. And I'm excited to see the outfits for the second film, because I know that they're just going to amp it up. And I know that it was high fashion then. But like watching it now, I'm like, homegirl, take off those 19 necklaces that you're wearing that go down to your knees. How is that practical and or fashionable? But okay. I know that a bunch of fashion houses and the Met Gala itself, it wasn't that this movie was blackballed per se in the fashion industry, but a lot of people were like, no, I'm not going to risk it, when they were asked to help with the filming, because everybody thought that it was a dig against Anna Wintour, and thus they didn't want to be on her bad side for supporting it.
Well, yeah.
Literally, Anna Wintour had to give her approval for this film for like fashion to be like, okay, we don't have to hate it. And that's sort of the reach of this woman's power.
Oh, no, yeah.
And
I was reading about that.
And I find that very funny that, like, even though Miranda Priestley is Anna Wintour so had to get her little paws in it.
You want to know who considerations for Miranda were?
Yes.
Since we were like, who else could possibly play
this
character except Meryl Streep? Michelle Pfeiffer.
Okay.
And I don't know about Michelle Pfeiffer in 2006, but maybe current Michelle Pfeiffer, I think.
Might have that gravitas a little bit
I
more.
love Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, who doesn't love Michelle
I mean, we're
Pfeiffer?
talking about Anne Hathaway being Catwoman, and Michelle Pfeiffer's my Catwoman. Glenn Close, of course.
Glenn Close didn't want to do it because it was too Cruella de Vil. She
It's very
didn't want
Cruella
to be a
that
villain.
Character again.
Yeah.
And Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh.
I understand why they went with...
I see it,
yeah,
but
I know.
I don't... the thing about Miranda Priestley is that she had to be older. She had to be a woman. I mean, I don't think that Meryl Streep was in her 50s when she filmed it, but she had to be a woman with some gravitas behind her. And I don't think Catherine Zeta-Jones looked that old, in order to play that character. Now, sure. Absolutely. She could pull off a character of that sort of, that power in an industry, especially an industry mostly dominated by men. Miranda Priestley always had to be like an older woman. So yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer could have done it, and Catherine Zeta-Jones could have done it, and it would have been interesting. I just don't think they were old enough in 2006 for it. They didn't have that depth behind them.
I think, with the exception of Glenn Close, Michelle
Glenn
Pfeiffer
Close
and Catherine Zeta-Jones a little older.
Yeah.
Could have played
They could have done it now, and they would have been great at it now.
I think so.
Yeah.
With that being said, Streep is definitely the perfect casting for this character.
Mm-hmm.
And she was originally almost passed over for the role because people thought she wasn't funny and wouldn't be able to do this more comedic role.
Meryl Streep can do anything.
But her casting, they believe, helped Wintour's resilience to the film.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, Meryl Streep's playing me. Like, okay, this is
If like
this is better.
If somebody wrote a book about working with me, and it didn't paint me in a nice light, but then they were going to make a movie out of it, I'd be like, all right, Meryl Streep, you are nobody. You are nobody, Meryl Streep, because I'm likable.
After that, Meryl Streep was able to ask for and get double what they were originally asking the other actresses.
Nice. Fucking work that paycheck. This is a little tidbit that I will bring back up when we watch Mamma Mia later this season.
Mia.
Meryl Streep kept those very big, famous sunglasses that Miranda wears and wears them in Mamma Mia. So those sunglasses have made an appearance in 2 of her films.
Wow.
So I don't feel like you liked this movie too much.
I thought it was fun. There are definitely funny. It's funny. Like there are funny moments with, of course, with Anne Hathaway trying to become the second assistant. Yeah, the fashion, finally choosing to start wearing more fashionable clothes to fit the role that she had with the company. Yeah. And
But overall, I feel like you're just
it's a fine movie. It's a fine movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't really get me going. I'm like, oh man, Devil Wears Prada.
I know how much you love fashion, and that's okay. I mean, although you are a fairly decent dude who is in touch with his softer side, you are not a fashion queen the way that I am. I mean, I've also watched. Well, I watched the first 9 seasons of Project Runway before I finally fell off that show, and
I watched some of those with you.
Yeah, you did.
Full episodes,
Yeah.
full seasons.
Yeah, and and
Tyra.
Oh, Tyra. You didn't watch that documentary.
No, but I overheard a lot of it.
Jesus Christ. That documentary about America's Next Top Model, first of all, not long enough. There were so many more stories that I wanted to know about those girls and some of the shit that went on behind the scenes. But Tyra Banks was fucking insane for some of her ideas. I mean, then and still now. The bitch is trying to sell hot ice cream. Drinkable, melted ice cream.
So just flavored cream?
Yes. It's exactly what it is. Flavored kind of room temperature cream. But she's saying that it's melted ice cream. She has an entire melted ice cream shop in Australia.
You know what
which
we say
she had
about
to
our
move to
cast
Australia
brands.
because America collectively went, oh, no, we don't want you anymore. Fuck. Tyra Banks, you crazy bitch. Watch, allegedly. You're allegedly a crazy bitch. Don't sue us. But yeah, no, I enjoyed this film too. Again, I hadn't seen it in years, so I didn't remember much of it going into it. And what I knew of it, it wasn't enough. I know that there was a while ago that a deleted scene kind of went viral that changed Miranda's character and made her softer. And there was great debate about whether or not the movie that scene should have been included in the movie because it changes the whole movie, but it really just shows her husband being a dick to her in public, and then her feeling
you kind of
bad
get
about that. You
get a
that
feel of that
understanding.
when she goes upstairs. Which, speaking of that scene, do not trust ginger twins.
Oh my god, I was just about to say that. I fucking wrote down.
I don't care whose kids they are.
I wrote down redheaded twins never to be trusted.
Don't trust them. Yeah, no, same. I wrote the same thing in my notebook.
I fucking love you so much.
We all know.
Oh my god, you don't trust redheaded twins. Cultural impact that this movie has had, and it's something we barely touched into, but this movie had a huge pop cultural impact. And it is fun. When it's in the fashion world, it's so much fun. When it's in the real world, when Andy's other world, it sucks. It's not that the movie sucks. It's just that all the people she surrounds her with fucking suck. And I really hope that she rids herself of all those douchebags, because how dare they? Yeah. Or at least that they apologize. I understand why this movie is beloved. It's not my favorite female-led comedy. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
If I'm going to sit down, if I want to watch a movie about strong women helping each other and doing badass stuff, I'm going to put on Practical Magic, right? I would much rather have watched Practical Magic than The Devil Wears Prada. And when they put out Practical Magic 2, we will talk about that movie beforehand and then go and see the second one. Whether or not it's any good, my ticket has already been bought. It's not my favorite, lady film, and I'm not big into fashion, but I do appreciate it for being a good film, so I'm going to say 3.5.
It's a fine
It's a super
movie.
fun, decent,
It's a great,
entertaining film.
show your friend who's never seen it,
Yeah.
who might like,
or
even if you're not into
what?
fashion, you don't
It's
have to be
not-
into fashion to like it.
It's not a show your friend who hasn't seen it. It's curl up with your bestie on a lazy afternoon, watch it sort of movie.
Or you should start a new tradition with somebody who hasn't seen it.
Yeah. I don't think many people haven't seen this movie.
I'm Sure, they're out there.
I'm sure they're out there. Like, our kids haven't seen it.
Well,
But,
maybe
like,
not that young.
you know, like,
A little older, maybe.
your friend Danny has probably seen it, but I think that would probably be something like, oh, yeah, I watched it with my mom kind of thing, right? Like, I don't expect most men to have seen this movie, and I'm not going to make them sit down and see it, especially 62 million of them. I'm just going to enjoy, you know, this film for what it is, and it is fun.
So, Maggie,
Yes, honey.
I have 2 questions for you.
I know the lights are beginning to dim, but if you could just hang on for a second. As soon as Matt's finished, I'm gonna kill him and your daughter, and I would love for you to see that.
10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. You have all your money. You just leave. No one has to get hurt, okay?
A few seconds. Stay with me. McClane, on your tombstone, it should read, always in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Elbow. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!
I never saw that one.
That's actually, it's better than 2,
Yeah.
but not as good as 1 and 3.
So, Die
And
Hard
then
1,
5's terrible.
I don't care much about. Like, I'm going to just go ahead and be real honest. I don't care. I don't care about all the, is it a Christmas movie? Isn't it? Don't fucking care. Die Hard 3 slaps. I love that film so much. I think it's an incredible time. It's way too long, but it's an incredible time. Jeremy Irons has never been sexier than he is in that movie. And if him and Alan Rickman really were brothers in real life, those brothers could London Bridge me. But I've never seen the 4. That's 4.
That was 4.
When Kevin Smith's in that one too, right?
The Free Die Hard. Is Kevin Smith
Kevin
in that
Smith's
one?
in it, yeah.
It's been a long time since I've watched it.
Yeah, it's one of the rare.
I don't remember.
You know, it's funny. Timothy Olyphant has been in a good amount of like Kevin Smith's non-Silent Bob stuff. Kevin Smith has, of course, Jane Silent Bob. That's what he's most known for.
Sure.
But the few times he's ventured out to be an actor in somebody else's project, Timothy Olyphant is involved in it. I find that very funny. And I had no idea what that was until I heard McClane.
Oh, I
Yeah,
purposely took out all the
yeah.
things that would give it away, but at the end, you got to hear McClane, and then you got to hear him
Yeah,
say
yippee-ki-yay,
motherfucker. Do you think the presence of Timothy Olyphant in The Devil Wears Prada would have made it a better film?
Oh, that's tough. I don't know. No, yes and no, but that does involve the next question.
Well, sure, of course, that's the point.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I can't.
You're recasting it to make it better.
If the movie was just set in the fashion world, no. Although he could have been, you know, the cute. Question 2.
I was going to say.
Question 2.
Question 2, Maggie.
Yeah.
Who would you have had Timothy Olyphant play?
He could have played the douchey blonde writer.
Simon Baker.
Yeah, he could have played Simon Baker's character. But I thought that Simon Baker was good at being
Christian Thompson is the name of the character.
smarmy. But the fashion world doesn't need Timothy Olyphant in it, right? The fashion side of the story doesn't need Timothy Olyphant.
Well, no, because it's not about him.
Just hear me out. It didn't need his character, or it doesn't need his presence to make that part more entertaining, right? He doesn't need to be in that part of the movie to be more entertaining. But I don't think that his presence in plot A would have changed how I felt about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's
It does.
collective, sure, with an asterisk. But I do love him. And
I
he's
also
so
think
cute.
that he would have played like a good Nate.
Yeah,
the
he would have been a
boyfriend.
good Nate.
And I think that's like on a younger side, younger
yeah,
Timothy Olyphant. But
absolutely.
then like a current age Timothy Olyphant,
Yeah.
I think he could have pulled off the Simon Baker's
Oh
character.
yeah. You know, charming and smarmy, and
But
even
those
though he's
characters, it
played
doesn't
like-
matter who you cast as Nate or Christian Thompson.
Yeah.
It doesn't really affect the movie itself because
No,
the movie
because-
itself is Miranda and Andi
Yeah,
mainly.
absolutely. He's somewhat more attractive than Adrian,
Granny.
and a little less, you know, douchey than Simon Baker was. So, you know, throw him in there. I still
Fair
would love
enough.
it. Yeah.
Also, the director of Live Free or Die Hard
Mm-hmm.
made such wonderful films like the first Underworld movie
Jesus.
and Underworld Evolution. So
Ooh.
the first 2. And then the Total Recall remake with Colin Farrell.
But, you
which
know,
was terrible.
what is her name? Nia DaCosta makes one bad movie and she's put in a fucking director jail. She makes The Marvels and everybody goes, all right, let's got women in it. She can never
Well,
work again. And then,
To
you
be
know,
fair,
to be fair,
after Total Recall, he didn't work for another 13 years.
that's too many bad movies. Some incredible. I mean, look at Ava DuVernay, right? Like she kind of had a flop with that movie based on the book starring Oprah. Disney film. Chris Pine was in it. About a little girl that goes on an epic adventure.
That had Chris Pine in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom used to read that book to me.
Yeah, a beloved book. Fumbled, the movie itself.
They traveled to planets.
Yeah.
And
Ted Lasso gives it to Roy Kent to read.
Yeah, he does.
But, she makes this movie and it doesn't flop well, and then she struggles to get good footing in Hollywood again, whereas this motherfucker makes bad movie after bad movie after bad movie, and he keeps getting to make more bad movies.
A Wrinkle in Time.
That's the one.
Oh, the most recent season of Stranger Things, A Wrinkle in Time, was brought up as well.
And that has been this week's episode of Movie Mingle on The Devil Wears Prada, and we hope that you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. I don't know why I decided to start it in this voice, but here we are. As ever, you can find As ever, you can find us on Instagram, Threads, and Letterboxd at Movie Mingle Pod. You can find us on YouTube at Movie Mingle Podcast. And you can write us any of your thoughts and comments and questions and concerns at movieminglepod@gmail.com. And we will reply to them when we check it every month and a half or so. Next week we will be watching The Departed, which will be a first time for me. Although I do know how everybody dies in it. So, the movie's been spoiled for me to an extent, but I still have never seen the bulk of it, so it's going to be fun. And then, in between that time, we will be going to see The Devil Wears Prada 2, and we will have probably a small review tacked on to at least one of our upcoming episodes for that, since we've talked about it today. So look forward to that in the coming future. Leave us whatever rating or 5 stars you feel we deserve on your podcast platform of choice, and tell your friends about us, and let your family know that you've got this cool new podcast with these two nerds, and we would appreciate it. Take care of yourself in this big, wide, crazy, terrible world out there. Be safe, be kind to each other, and remember, take at least one thing off before you leave the house to be fashionable. Or just pack everything on, because fuck it, there are no rules. Now go mingle. Bye!
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!
Are you an effective team?
We are an effective team.
Let them fight.
How did you just do that?
I'm a really good lawyer.
Here on Caladan, we ruled by air power and sea power. On Arrakis, we need to cultivate desert power.
Welcome, Mr. Beach. What's that bar? I'm a little confused.
Well, we wouldn't want that, would we?
I don't want to brag, but I will. I was in the Avengers.
The Avengers?
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you.
What is that?
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Toga, 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 toga.